it wasn't like I was trying to do this today. To be perfectly frank, I was sitting inside the house editing some other video when I did the car review stuff, but I had this part to put on the GR Corolla, and I figured I'd give y'all back to the scheduled program of me working on the GR Corolla. So today we're putting on an intercooler right when, don't worry about the messy garage. It's life, okay? The garage will be straightened up once I just declutter things in the house, okay? But for the time being, we're driveway warriors. I want to put the intercooler on. 6 Element is back in the building again. Drop my towel. 6 Element's back in the building again. You know they're high quality parts. I'll show it to you in the box in a second. I'm just giving you a little prequel of what's going on. No, I did not show you everything I was doing to get this car to the position I needed now in order to get the intercooler on, because you've already seen it. You've been on this channel. You know how we get down. And if you haven't ever touched a GR Corolla, honestly, it's very simple, really. So just to give you a couple bits and pieces, MST intake has to come off. I have to lift that part up because I have to get onto the shroud there to kind of hold up the radiator and the air conditioner condenser so that they don't try to fall down when I remove a support thing under the car. Let me just at least show you under the vehicle so you can understand what's been going on. Hold on. If you wanted to know what you're gonna have to take off, it's pretty much all that. All these covers that protect under this vehicle, from the oil pan to the engine, to your oil filter and things like that, all that has to come off. And the main piece that's gonna start coming down is this guy right here. This is a support beam, I guess you could say. It may not be the right term, but rock with me. That's holding up, you can kind of see in there. Behind there, there's a radiator, the AC condenser, and this is a factory intercooler that we're gonna be taking off. But if you drop this guy down, everything else is gonna start sinking down. I'm gonna go up top. I'm gonna take some zip ties and kind of try to wrap it around some part of the radiator and condenser to kind of hold it in place so that when I do drop that piece, I don't have to deal with fighting to keep it up. The trick I'm gonna use for this whole intercooler is what I should have did with my friend Hatchie Boo, is use a jack to hold it up so I'm not stressing myself out. And we're gonna do that because I got the jack over there in the corner. Let's get to it. Okay, we're back where it matters now. See, these pieces right here, these little clamps, these gotta come off. That's part of the cold side of the intercooler from the OEM. You can kind of see it traveling all the way down there, all the way down to the bottom there. If I can follow you down, you see it all the way, goes all the way down to the bottom right there. And you see another clamp down there very faintly that gotta come off too. So that piece has to come off. This goes to the OEM throttle body. As you can see, it's right here. And that is an inlet for the throttle body. And this is, we're just gonna detach it from basically these 2 points here. Take off this one, take off this one. Here's the new hose there, and we're gonna have a new charge pipe there. Also, hot side. Hot side is buried down there. Now, there's a few things I'm gonna try to do from the top, and I'm gonna zoom in on it real quick. You can almost kind of see those 2 little bolts right there that are holding up the hot side of the charge pipe. I'm gonna try to detach those from up here because I can kind of maybe, I don't know. I might have been a little too ambitious with my idea. I was trying to find a place to put like a zip tie to hold the condenser up and then also the radiator, as you can see back there, but I didn't really find nothing. Like I see openings, but I don't have enough. I'd have to put zip ties, and honestly, I don't have like the crazy strong ones that like the police use or something. I got like some regular zip ties that really work for what I'm trying to do. Regardless, it's not that big of a deal. We'll figure it out as we go. This shouldn't, whoa, snap one was knocked over the tripod. This shouldn't be too bad. To be honest, I think I don't know what size that is as far as that small. Let's see, this 10, yeah. Definitely was a 10 millimeter. Now it has been on here for a while, so I'm hoping that this comes off with ease. See, that's loose, as you can see, flopping around. We're gonna take this off. Cold side is off, and I'm just gonna try to finagle it off with one hand and hold the camera, which is already turning out to be a little bit too much. Doing dos muchos. Okay, I'm trying to get the hose off It should come off fairly easy. It's moving. There we go. Oh, duh. Okay, I'm dumb because I forgot to take that bolt off right here. Now we made some progress because I took this bolt off. I was playing myself trying to get this cold charge pipe off. So just remember, there's a bolt under here holding down that little plastic bracket on the cold pipe for the charge pipe. You just gotta take out this little 12mm bolt right there. And then you're good to go. Now, let's see if I can one-hand band this thing while I'm holding the camera. Oh, it's much looser now. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go, we got action. We got action. It's gonna come off up top there. Oh, charge. All right, there you go. It's moving. Hold up, you guys can't really. There you go. You can kind of see. Dang, hit the camera and everything. Reckless. Okay, well, we got it off, as you can see, one-handed. Don't tell me CarQuicks can't do it, because I can do it. I think, yeah, it is. This piece right here is still left up there. I'm gonna try to get it off right now. Here we go. There you go. That's off right there. That is the cold side. I was gonna say, this is one of those days when you're like installing a part, and I kind of don't want to do this right now, but then I also want to do it because I do enjoy doing this. But I don't know, I was just in it was a lazy Saturday. Like, I was watching the qualifying for the F1 earlier. I was just kind of chilling, and I could have chilled some more. You know, the family's at their friend's house, ain't nobody here. I don't know, it's just one of those days. Okay, the hot side it ain't terrible. All my normal dexterity is like off today. Like I'm doing stuff like rookie level. Once this is loose, oh, there we go. Another one right there. I was ready to eventually have to use an open-ended one like this. And I have a ratchet one. I just have no idea where it is right now. And that's really annoying. All right, hot side is coming off. I couldn't even show you that last piece right there because that was pure foolishness that I had to do. I'm just gonna rock this back and forth. Actually, this side's coming off better. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna take this off. All right, that is the hot side hose. That's off. Little bracket. There's some little bolts back here we have to take off, and I can reach it easier with that hose off. I'll work my way up there, take that bracket off, and then all the way up by the turbo. Yes, could you do this more cleanly if you had a lift? Absolutely, but see, some of us don't have those luxuries in life. We gotta just do what we gotta do. Driveway warriors unite. Listen, I'm trying to give y'all footage, and really you don't even need this footage. See my hand is back here, this little bolt, that has to come off. That is what I'm working on right now. Don't ever say you never got behind the scenes footage on these brackets that we're talking about when it comes to these cars. See the hose right there? I'm thinking this should just pop out, as you can see, loosening up right there. There you go. Hot side is out. These are the OEM charge pipes. I mean, you can see they're almost dainty in size. See the opening there, here. Here's all the old OEM brackets. These right here, oxidized. Someone's gonna be screaming like, yo, it's rust. It's not rust. I mean, these could probably rust a little bit, just being in weather and stuff. This is the other hose that was on the cold side. The cold side charge pipe. I almost feel like whenever I see these pieces like this on this car, I feel like these are like baffles to help induction noise or reduce it. I don't know if I'm true to that. Like I said, I'm not an engineer. It's just my opinion or my thought process on it. But this is the cold side. Also fairly restrictive compared to what we're about to run right now. And here's the other hose for the hot side that came off. So, I mean, if you want to see a comparison, that's what we were working with prior. OEM 6-element. That is a massive difference in just diameter, the flow, way less sharp of a bend right here. Don't mind the torn glove. That's just what happens when you're working on the car. Here is the cold side. which includes this piece. Well, this is part of the hot side, my bad. Hot side, there we go. Cold side, right there. Same story. Look at the cold side. OEM, 6-element. You see the difference in size. You see the diameter. We're about to have proper airflow. I'm gonna say this. Some of the stuff that you have on this, like behind your OEM intercooler, I'm not putting back. Okay? Some of these air guides, I ain't doing it. I ain't trimming it. I'm not putting it back. I'm gonna tell you why. Because regardless, the way the front of this car is set up, the air is getting back there. Like the air is making its way into that intercooler. I know the OEM GR Corolla's got a bunch of air guides and plastic bits and pieces that a lot of these intercoolers want you to trim up and do all these things for. But guess what? I ain't doing that. See way back there? I gotta take off that little piece right there. And I gotta reach in there somehow to get that clip off. And let me tell you, once I get that off, guess what's not going back in there? This guy. I gotta finagle this. Yeah, trying to take those off. Yeah, aftermath. Here's the OEM intercooler. This is gonna come out now. This little support piece has to come down, I believe. Okay, update. So remember this little beam I was telling you about? I removed some of the bolts off there already, as you can see right there. This is, when you move this, you can kind of see the whole entire thing moving right now, including the radiators and air condensers and AC condensers are moving as well. So the whole thing is being supported by that. When this drops down, everything kind of drops down with it. So wisely, I put a jack under there to kind of hold it in place while I loosen it up. It's not fully tight up there. I got one more bolt to remove down there. And then I'm gonna try to ease this thing down. I'm gonna use this jack as a way to put everything back up. I'm gonna lower the jack just very slightly, see what this thing does. Just enough. See, it's moving down. That little bolt up there that you see, that has to come off too. So we're not done yet. Probably like a 10mm. And then on the hot side, you got a bolt right here we got to take off as well. And there's one right up there as well too that you have to get down. Of course, somebody's gonna say, that's why you take off the front bumper. Nah, dogs, not doing it. Okay, this is pretty much loose, as you can see. The whole thing's moving down. I probably can get it off now. Nah, I probably gotta lower this. All right, got that out. Oh man, that was a dusty mess. Mad sand and stuff that's in there for me driving the car. OEM intercooler, 6-element right here. A couple stickers and things like that. 6-element engineering. Little, if I can open it. Oh, a little diagram. That's what it originally came with when it came with the original hoses that just go to the OEM charge pipes. However, because I have the charge pipes as well too, we won't be using those. Those are actually inside the box right now. See, those hoses right there. But anyways, 6-element. It did come with this little stencil. I briefly thought about spraying this blue. I don't mind it. I know some people have their opinion about companies and their logos, but 6, at least theirs has a fairly nice design and look. But I do have their logo right here on the intercooler itself right there. And here's the entire piece. Let me get it out the box and show you compared to the OEM one. That is the difference. Obviously, we're dealing with a massively thick core compared to the OEM one. A lot more dense. Yes, it is heavier. It's not going to be lighter. We have hard end tanks as opposed to the plastic ones, though that one is like a cast material, but all one piece, nice weld. And if you're in Houston, go holler at them if you need some industrial style clamps. We're going to use these super clamps that are from this company because these things are robust. Okay, no issues whatsoever running these. And so I'm putting these on the car. I'm not even dealing with the OEM ones. Yes, they could be fine. I don't know if there are some people that have no issues. I just know 2 people who put this on and immediately had issues. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna avoid having issues, and I'm running these clamps. You wanna know who this is from? HCL. These are 63 to 68 millimeter Supra Micolor clamps. Okay, if you wanted to know, I'll put the link in the description as far as how these clamps are, because you can order them online too. And these are 51 to 55 millimeter ones that you need. Do yourself a favor. And I kind of say this for any intercooler because of how much boost pressure these cars run. Look, this is just my precautionary way of not having to come and revisit these things later. Some people never had an issue, so listen, you don't have to follow what I'm saying. I'm just, if you want some alternative, there you go. Because once I get this in this little hook there, I'm gonna get the plate and I'm gonna hold the whole thing up there. This goes in like that. Okay, that's gonna clear. Like, should I have it up that high and then try to get these pieces in? Oh, my arm is so tired. Okay, hot side's in, cold side's in. Gotta approach this differently. I have to get this side in first. This side's pretty much in. I just have to get it. There we go. We are in as far as the intercooler being in. Next is the small little pieces to bolt in, and then the charge pipes, and then putting everything back. And it's already nighttime. So I'm just telling you right now, you ain't gonna get all the footage, okay? You're gonna get me telling you the end result when I'm driving, okay? Okay, I kind of stopped because I was busy taking care of something else, but the intercooler is now on. I got this bright LED light behind me. That's why it's shining so brightly, but let me show you what we got. Intercooler's on. These clamps are excellent. Charge pipe is on, clean and clear all the way down to the, hold on, I can't even see where I'm at. Clean and clear all the way down to the bottom. Hot side is on too. Cold side all the way up to the top. As you can see, everything bolted down. Hot side right there. All the way, you're not gonna see it by the turbo because it's too dark right now, but hot side is on, intercooler is on, everything is on. Intercooler, you can see down there. If you are wondering, do I need to take off the front bumper to put on the intercooler for this car? You don't, okay? Especially considering how these bumper tabs and corners don't wanna attach back in after. Don't take the bumper off, okay? At least on the 6-element one. I don't know about the other ones, okay? Busher Racing, all them other larger ones, you may have to, okay? I'm putting everything back on. I'm going to test drive it. We'll talk about it in another video. Until then, there you go. I'll see y'all around. Peace. Okay, you know, it's been a while since I came back to talk to y'all about this intercooler that I put on, but it's definitely not the next day. It's weeks later since I've had this on. But that's good, because things I like doing is I put a part on the car. I like driving it for a set amount of time so I can see what the car performs like. If you're new to my channel, welcome, like, subscribe. It's CarQuicks. So, GR Corolla content. The intercooler from 6-element got put on my car. Now, if you've been paying attention, you know I've already done this on my friend's car, but I put it on my car. I was gonna get a different intercooler, had a deal on the 6-element one. I decided to work with them again, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna put it on because the part performs. I mean, I argue that we're splitting hairs sometimes when it comes to intercooler performance if you're not in a race application or a high horsepower application. Street driven cars, under 400 wheel horsepower, the 6-element intercooler is good well past that, into the 500 range, as far as keeping it cool and efficient. So if you're wondering about, hey, should I go get a 6-element or a CSF or a Busher or a Power Tune or OTL, all of them are good. Get whatever you want to spend your money on. But if the argument is which one is better, I'm gonna say, in my opinion, it's gonna depend on your application and what you're doing. Anyways, back to this. Since I've had it on this car, the throttle response already was excellent, considering the fact that I'm running the shift power throttle controller. And if you don't know about that video, go ahead and take a gander. Check out the link as well, you know, get a discount on that. So it was already better throttle response on my car. This intercooler has, I don't want to say increase the throttle response because I can already change it to a higher level, but the power delivery for certain is a lot cleaner, a lot more, I kind of want to say linear, but there's a punch to this now as far as what it was doing before. There's definitely a mid-range hit that's a lot more aggressive than it was when I didn't have an intercooler on. And if you don't know my mods, I have a downpipe, I have a turbo inlet, I have an intake, I have the intercooler, I have a mid-pipe. I do have an exhaust at the time I first put this on, but since that conversation, or since that time, I've actually swapped back to my stock exhaust because I'm gonna work and partner with another company with another exhaust that I'm hoping that we can agree to some terms on. So for now, I'm on a stock exhaust. Not that that makes too much of a difference when it comes to the performance. There is some slight changes and differences, but I'm not losing like what I did on the car for the sake of the exhaust, okay? So we are still good to go. However, how this thing feels, how it performs, how it keeps the air intake in the car cooler, substantial, okay? Now I live in Texas, so when I say substantial for our blazing hot heat, it's because I know driving on the back roads where I live, I can get the temperature up to 220, 230 as far as the coolant temps, and the oil temps I can get well high. Actually the oil temps, 200, 220, 230. So I'm used to seeing high oil temps just from me just trying to have a little good time on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning in the back roads. But this right now, yes. Kind of wrap up this video. The intercooler obviously is going to keep the charged air cooled much better. The oil temps have been lower. It's not an oil cooler, so don't try to say it's, get an oil cooler for true lower temps, but they are lower from what I am seeing. Obviously the car performs better. The power stays where it should be for a longer period of time. You don't have a heat soak issue. And I'm just rinsing and repeating what you've already known about this car, what you've known about these parts if you go to put them on. So I'm not doing anything brand new. I'm not like blazing a brand new trail. And just the throttle response, if you do not have a throttle controller, just because I've driven it on a car that doesn't have one, will get better because the charge pipes were a bottleneck on the previous setup when it came to how this car was designed and how it performed. Even though you can run an intercooler on the factory charge pipes, they are gonna be a bottleneck. That is going to be the bottleneck in your system as far as how fast the air is flowing in and out. Now there is an additional piece that you can do on the intercooler that I will add from another company called RK Titanium, and that is a throttle body elbow. That piece is something that you will kind of see people talking about. It's something to add to the charge pipes in order to make sure all the air getting into the throttle body is as smooth and fast as it can. Right now I have the factory little elbow, which is a restrictive piece compared to the 2.25 inch, 2.25 inch intercooler piping charge pipes that I have now on the car. Just a little food for thought. In general though, if you're thinking about getting an intercooler for the GR Corolla, it's probably one of the best modifications that you can make alongside of, I say, a downpipe and an intake, and then also the intercooler. It makes such a big difference on this car because of how hot it can run, because it is a high boost, small motor, and it runs very hard. It runs good. It's not a bad motor. It's made well. It's reliable. It's just that those small things have a very big benefit if you're looking to increase the power, run it harder, drive it on the track, back roads, so on and so forth, okay? I was just doing a little test drive for you to just wrap up this video for an outro to tell you, go ahead and get yourself an intercooler. I'll see y'all around.